Microphone check, 1, 2, what is this? It's the 5'7" assassin in the podcast business. I am your host, Rohan Patra, the Rap Music Plug at your service. The Rap Music Plug podcast presented by QLC TV is the remedy to the I don't have anything good to listen to problem. Through in-depth album and song reviews, as well as artist interviews and general rap commentary sprinkled in between on all of what the mainstream and underground rap scenes have to offer, this is your one-stop shop to knowing what to add to your queue, play next, or pop into your record player. Welcome to the show. What is up, family? I am so pumped today to have with me the insanely creative and unique Kincee BabyFace Pearlis for a very rare conversation that I'm honored to be a part of. I've been absolutely obsessed with this guy's music for the better part of the last few months, the whole year really of 2021. It's been such a pleasure to dive into his catalog and just unearth all of these incredible gems of music. So hailing from Jennings, Louisiana, Kincee is a one-of-a-kind presence in the rap game right now, who has been creating art both visually and musically for a long time now. Most notably, he has some incredible work with the legend producer August Fanon that you hear me raving about 24/7, it seems, on this show. And he particularly caught my attention in the recent months, as I mentioned, as I've been just listening to his music nonstop. So thank you for joining me today, Kincee. Welcome to the show.
Multiplying cash imports, we rockin' hash. Got us niggas swerving outside the lanes, crossing over Pontotoonly. Corner hustlers, watch out, boys. Clone snakes trying to place me under the ground. My main man, Pierre Pound. We used to run the town and drop dollars off the rooftop, smuggling bird shit. Heard Cali caught a raid of earthquakes. After effect for when they bubble the murdery.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. What's up with you?
What's up, man? I'm just so excited. As soon as I got into your music, I had so many questions. One, why the fuck did I not hear about you before? I did hear some names, some people that I trust and with good taste kind of mention your music, but I don't know how I didn't come across your music. I think it was August, a tweet that he put out mentioning you that I was like, who is this guy? I got to check it out. So I'm happy to speak with you today.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I just would rarely would, like kind of promote my music. And when I first started rhyming, I guess. So it was like, a lack of me trying to even really push it.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to start right at the beginning for you. So were you always a rap fan growing up, even as a child? And when was the first time that you picked up a pen and started rhyming?
Oh, man. Since a kid, man, like maybe, young, just like many others, like 9, 10 years old. But I always was into like the Wild Wild West song. You know what I'm saying? Like all that type of, that vibe. Because, I was born in 86. So all of that stuff was coming on, TV. Hip hop was new. You feel me? So that's kind of like when I first really started hearing music was hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I began writing around that time, trying to write, not really rapping, just writing words, you know what I'm saying? I was always kind of like, doing crosswords and stuff like that, always. Still to the, today I do that.
Word. And what is the significance behind this very unique name, Kincee BabyFace Pearlis? And so what's the significance of the name as well as the mask that is kind of become synonymous with your art?
Well, the mask was supposed to initially, when I first, thought of it, from the beginning of that, every year for Mardi Gras, you got to have like a certain type of costume and you got to be different from the previous year. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of like stand out. And so when I first started, I introduced the mask because it was part of my childhood that I forgot about. I went to the military, for almost 10 years. And, I left at 17. So it's like I forgot about a lot of stuff. And after I got out, off of active duty, you know what I'm saying, I started coming back home more, and you know, it started coming back to me like who I was before I joined the military type of thing. And the name Kincee, I added on the BabyFace Pearlis, kind of like my pop's middle name was Pearlis, and he kind of like hated the name. That was my grandfather's name, and so kind of like during that time, you know what I'm saying, I just took it. I was like, damn, you know, I got to become like this fucking, you know, if I really want to do this shit, I got to have an alter ego. I got to have, and I had to really start, you know, take back like, damn, I got all these different personalities, you know, I was just unaware of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I just came up with that. Just tried to, you know, use things that was really real, you know what I'm saying?
I found that really interesting because, especially because you're mentioning your time in the military. How did that shape you? How did that impact kind of like the way you see the world?
Big, man, because you gotta, I was 17 when I left, and I had 2 kids at the time, 2 daughters, 2 different baby moms. And I just was, you know, I got kicked out of school. It's kind of like my last option. And I went in, and automatically out the gate, you know, I had to become a man. I was already a man, you know, as far as, you know, growing up, handling my business. But, you know, I had to really step up and be like a man. I'm carrying a gun and shit now, you know? So training with men, you know what I'm saying? For war and shit, you know? So like a lot of stuff, how I look at the world now is totally different from, it's like, you know, from, I can't even really, from the beginning, it's like, you know, seeing just different cultures and stuff, just that, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, having relationships, you know, from in the military with people that, you know, I couldn't really touch, you know, different cultures I couldn't really, I want to say, reach without, you know, going in. So just based off of that, you know, learning from them, it shaped me in many ways, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that track Jaded. Oh, the name's escaping me. A lot of your titles are a lot of mouthful,
Jaded,
but yeah, off of
jaded,
Dia So Pure. Dia So
yeah.
Pure. Do you find that you're jaded after all of that? Do you have any kind of cynicism that came from that experience, or was it mostly positive?
Hey, you want me to tell you the real, like that track title came from Solomon Kane. That track actually was a track I called it Money Runner, and Jallo Point actually produced the beat that I actually rhymed over.
Oh, he's dope.
And yeah, Jallo Point is ill, man. And that was like in 2014 or something like that, if I can remember correct. But so I sent Solomon Kane at that time. I was working with him on a lot of stuff, just, you know, beats. We was exchanging stuff. So I sent him a couple acapellas, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna make I want you to shoot a video, and I'm gonna, you know, reproduce the track with the video as well." I was like, "All right, cool." And at the time, I had a film company. And I went to film school, audio production school at that time, and my company helped me shoot the visuals for it. I sent it back to him, and he did his thing on it and just put it out.
That's a crazy video. I remember seeing that one. I love the visual approach, which I know we'll get into a little later in this conversation, but it's a really brilliant
Yeah,
video.
I
Maybe
really
one of
like
my
his
favorite
work.
songs.
Yeah, I really like his work, man. I really do like his work. He like a big bro to me too.
Mm.
Yeah, we got a real good connection.
So over the past few months now, as I've been getting into your music, I've been going hard on pretty much anyone that I know that likes rap and could potentially like your music. And when I've been trying to describe to them your lyricism in particular, I've been very quickly at a loss for words because, you know, in your music, I get some concrete, you know, street narratives and things like that. But I also get a ton of deeply poetic content that provides a lot of social commentary, as well as always kind of feels like it's in this like otherworldly, futuristic point of view.
Yeah.
So Could you describe your writing process and some of the key themes that you like to explore in your lyrics?
You know, the theme of what I do is voodoo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. And so it's real crazy how my writing process is, man. It's like I have a day to where I write a whole bunch of phrases down, and then I'll have a day where I'll be in the studio breaking those phrases down into 16, or you know what I'm saying, coming up with a hook out of some of it, or you know what I'm saying. It all just depends. Like I may rhyme on a certain beat, and I might mute that beat and like bring in another beat and just hear how the lyrics is going over that beat. You feel me? And that'll even inspire me to write something different. You know what I'm saying? And explore the different theatrical moments I can kind of like squeeze in. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it just all depends. You know, like some days I'll wake up and record like 3 or 4 tracks that I wrote, you know, had written. And some days I'll just, you know, sit there and mix tracks that I haven't put out, you know, like, you know, that's recorded over 6 months ago and revamp it. You know, it's real chaos, kind of like, you know, I never really know what's gonna happen until, you know, it's kind of like the inner spirit to let me know when it's time to, you know, do something. Like, you know, that's kind of like how I move.
It's a very interesting, very interesting. I don't think I've even heard of a rapper do writing like that. I don't. I know people that obviously sometimes they don't write at all and they kind of go off top, and then other people are super meticulous about it. But writing phrases and then kind of moving from there
Yeah.
is really, really unique. Damn.
Because I look at it as like, you know, I'm trying to do something that's, you know what I'm saying, like when I put something out, it's just like it, you know, I don't want to feel like, oh, I should have waited or I should have did this or that. You know how you have like even some of my drawings, I'd be like that, you know, and I'm kind of like some stuff I have to find it to where just leave it alone. Like, you know, it's some art you'll see it's just a dot in the middle of the paper. It's like, oh, they could have put so much more, but it, you know, some stuff is just gotta let it be.
Hmm. And I see your lyrical approach as being very obviously very unique, very abstract. Why do you prefer taking this more avant-garde approach, I guess you could say, to music versus adopting, you know, a more traditional, simple, accessible style?
Mostly, man, you know, because I want to be original for the most part. Like, I don't really want to necessarily like sound like nobody or want nobody really to try to sound like me. I mean, I don't. I may take inspiration from different artists as far as like how they did something, but I won't mimic nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we all unique. So it's just like, you know, we all offer something great.
That was my next question actually, was if there were any artists that influenced your lyrical style, because I can't really think, like you said, I think you've achieved your goal. I can't think of someone at all that sounds like you, but are there any artists that really inspired you, maybe indirectly even
Oh,
to kind
of
of bring you to
course,
where you
man.
are?
It's so many out there, man. Of course, you know, it's crazy, man. You know, I grew up seeing a lot of stuff and you know on the TV, like I said, and it was like as a kid, you can't really, you know, we didn't have the internet, so it's like some of that stuff you never got to hear again because of the times changing. And as I became an adult, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I kind of grew up quick, went to the military, so that kind of like shut my life off as far as like, you know, adapting anything new as far as musically, you know. But as I grew older, I realized like, damn, this the dude that you know, that I heard on TV, and that's Cool Keith, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like the dude that's like, man, you feel me? Like even now, you know what I'm saying? I find myself listening to Blue Flowers and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And that
Crazy
I'll
shit.
listen to some, yeah, I listen to an album like that, but I won't try to go make nothing like that. You feel me? It'll just kind of give me an instance to be more of myself, dig more in my core of myself to be, you know, more unique. You feel what I'm saying? So, but yeah, him, you know what I'm saying? All those cats, Run DMC, you know, the whole Rakim, you know what I'm saying, the actual era when rap and hip hop came about, all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's the foundation. That's what I respect most about it. You know, that's why I kind of like, you know, just kind of glued into that spot. I just recently recorded some new recordings with one of my homies in the city. It's kind of like, if you want to call it fast, you know, a more trap approach, I guess.
I wanted to move to your sound actually, and starting not with the production that you typically go over, but the way your vocals sound. I find they're super unique in that sense, and it kind of immediately caught my attention. They're mixed very like grainy, very high maybe, and it's obviously very intentional. So why do you prefer this kind of raw sound?
Oh man, it's just, you know, I love vinyl, you know what I'm saying? I love just the grittiness of the wax and stuff like that. So I kind of like try to, you know, mimic that part in my music as far as it feeling like I want you to know that it's old. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's you know, I wanted to keep that vintage sound, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be mixed clear and, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be set apart from what's the norm, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely does. I actually did notice in the more recent work you've done, particularly the World is Upside Down record with August, and then the Star Moon One Sun EP that you put out that I
Yeah.
really really love. I did notice it's a bit cleaner, not like it's not you're not all of a sudden sounding like it's some super commercial thing, but I did
Yeah.
notice it was a bit cleaner. Is that on purpose too, or is it just natural progression?
Probably naturally because you know, I may have, you know, some records I'll sit down an hour with, you know, it's all depending on how, you know, as far as the mix, depending on how, you know, what I'm trying to actually accomplish on the song is that's gonna all depend on how the mix come out.
More water than welfare. Farewell from the Holiday Inn. Slide in. What you thinking people out here doing for the money? What you thinking people out here doing for the money?
So on that topic of August, I really want to get into your relationship with him because as a huge fan of his work, he was probably the key reason, as I mentioned in the intro here, that I think he tweeted about you. I pressed play on
Yeah.
your music and I immediately was just in love. So the chemistry was very clear between you two that it's just absolutely incredible. So tell me first how you met August and then how did you start actually making music with him?
Man, me meeting him, it had to be something spiritual, man, because we both, you know, I couldn't even remember how we even began conversating with each other. It was just all of a sudden, like, you know, I was getting these beats in and I was like, you know, I was planning on, you know, releasing something. I had been doing a lot of writing and I got an email, call from him. He was like, yo, I'm about to come up through the East Coast and I want, you know, can I stop through? And I was like, shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had a studio out in Durham under, you know, in the basement. And he came through and stayed with me for like a month and then shot up the East Coast and then came back down and stayed with me for like another 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? It's like pretty much, you know, we both strangers to each other. And it was, we worked on music, man, just went out, you know what I'm saying? And did regular shit, you know, like shop, you know, bought equipment and shit, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't really on like making the music because we already knew like, you know what I'm saying, it's going, we just in work mode, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing to rush, you know what I'm saying? And I think actually he left and, you know, I really didn't start really working on those beats or nothing for like another 2-3 months. I kind of like was just in a place, you know, I was doing a lot of stuff, going to different schools. At the time I was running the audio production for a hotel, doing hotel shows and stuff. So, you know, I was managing a lot of stuff. And when I got the break, that's when I started working on the album 8602. And yeah, I started recording record, you know, over tracks. And I sent him like maybe, I think 86, the song 86, it was the first song I recorded for that album. And that's how I even came up with the title of the album. The beat for 8602 was actually titled 86. And it was beat 86, you know, for 986 or whatever. And I was like, damn. I was like, damn, it just, you know, it just spoke to me for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, this me. You know, I took that as a sign, like, okay, get your ass to work. It's time to put an album out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took it like that. And I just, you know, began recording other tracks, sending it to him, and he mixed like the first 2-3 tracks of it. Maybe I mixed 2-3, you know what I'm saying? And it just sounded good collectively. So I spoke with my folks and they told me just to go ahead and put it out. And initially I had it out for streaming with a Muse or whatever. And a couple people reached out to me and was like, man, you shouldn't have that album out for streaming, man. I was like, word. It's like, yeah, I would take it off. It's like, damn. And I'm like, man, okay, what the fuck do I do now? Like, you know what I'm saying? I got this product and people telling me to take it down. Like, they wasn't saying like, you know, they was just saying like, man, that album sound good. I wouldn't be having it for streaming. And, you know, I went to music business school and stuff like that. And, you know, it was like a signal for me to start executing the business side of what I learned in music business. I had to, you know, I took that as a sign to take a different approach in releasing my music. You know what I'm saying? And when I did that, you know, it kind of worked in my favor.
That's pretty interesting. So you said you went to music business school. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I went to audio production school at Living Arts College in
Nice.
North Carolina. And so I learned, you know, I already went to programming school in North Carolina at what's the name of the damn school? Forgot. Yeah, I did that. And after that, I didn't want to do the certifications and shit for programming. And so I was like, I still had all this, you know, this college money from the military. So I was like, shit, I was in the middle of recording music and working in, you know, my studio while the whole time I was in programming school. So the both was kind of like fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was working on music and not doing homework. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the rest of this bread and go to audio production school. Therefore, I can learn, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing properly. And, you know, that drove me to learning Photoshop and, you know what I'm saying, just all bells and whistles of, you know, video and, you know, audio going together and, you know, being able to have a company and, you know, just work in that field of audio production, doing shows of the Gladys Knights and Temptations and working, you know, miking up Common, meeting Common in the hotel, you know, miking him up before he take a speech and shit. You feel me? Like that, you know, just that, and I never finished both of those degrees because it was like, once I learned what I wanted, it was just like, man, I'm out of here.
I find that really interesting, and that's something I wanted to talk about right now. Actually, is that your approach to the music, because I find that's also makes your artistry very unique. So to give those listening some context before we get into it, some key notes is that you leverage a subscription model on Bandcamp. I know some other artists do that, but it is still quite unique, where fans pay a monthly fee, they get access to a lot of exclusive content, ton of back catalog releases. I'm part of that. I would highly recommend. It's amazing. You do have some of your music on streaming too, but for the most part, the majority of your music is available by purchase on Bandcamp. And lastly, the other notable thing is that the price you charge for your art is significantly above what the typical market is currently putting out, where albums are like $9.99, $10, etc. So why do you choose to distribute your music there? I know you said some people you knew told you to take it off streaming, that 8602 project, but why do you think this is the best method for you?
I mean, as I take it, you know, I feel that music, when music was first created, you know, to be distributed to the public, it was mechanically created and, you know, sent out, right? So I feel that all music, it should be physical. It should be something that you can touch, feel. You feel what I'm saying? Streaming is like artificial for me. You feel what I'm saying? It's like I want you to feel. I want you to really look at this artwork. I really want you to feel this wax, or you know, whatever it is, this CD, this cassette, because it's like this is how I prefer to package, give it to you, and the cost of it is because I myself, you know, I'm a fine artist. So, you know, this shit that I learned, and I took time to really dedicate it in. It's not like I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, so with that, it comes a price. Like you can't just drive a Benz if your ass is broke. So you're going to pay for what I have. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why, you know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody in somewhere just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like this is a legacy I'm trying to build.
Yeah, no, I like the way you put that. It's something that you want to feel, that it should be treated as such, and I guess priced as such. So that's I find that very cool, and I think it's something to be clear. It's something that I think is becoming a bit of a trend. I've noticed, like there's some obvious examples like what they're doing out in Griselda, but I feel like for the better part of the last 2-3 years, independent artists are really starting to take that approach and pricing their music at a price point, and in a way, distributed in a manner that they think makes the most sense. You know, you recently released a track off of one of your most rare albums, BGOD, which is produced by August Fanon, and you released it on
Yes.
YouTube. And so do you see yourself ever releasing some of those more rare projects? I'm thinking of BoKoR. I don't know if I'm saying any of these names right. Sorry, but BGOD, BoKoR, more widely or at lower prices, like based on, I guess, related to our topic, or do you think you're going to stay with this approach for the foreseeable future?
Never. I don't think I ever remove the prices of those records because I got records, you know, I got stuff that I'm a probably, you know, make it more available as far as pricing and, you know what I'm saying, versions type of thing like that. But I got some stuff, you know, that's nothing really. I got some stuff that I'm gonna be releasing that's gonna kind of like be rare to, you know, a few people. You
Wow.
feel what I'm saying? Like only a disclosed amount of people, like maybe 50 people, 20 people, 10 people, like, you know what I'm saying? Artwork that come along with it, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like a whole package thing, kind of like to where like you can even resell it if you would like. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it actually have some type of value. It's not just, you know, made available to everybody. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, investors can maybe even step up to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Find that very interesting. It's like what people actually do in the visual art scene. Obviously, you don't put a piece of like a Mona Lisa on streaming, obviously, but that idea of people paying top dollar to have something that's both audio and visual is not something that I guess is that unbelievable. It's just so uncommon to how we treat music these days, which definitely
Right,
feels like we devalue it, to say the least, which is
right.
unfortunate. I know on this kind of topic, similar related tangent here, along with, you know, a lot of other jewels that you drop on the topic of, I guess, materialism and how the powers that be control or try to control regular folks. One track in particular really had a nice lyric that I wanted to get into. It's the Love Not Money off of the Thief's Theme record. And you have a
Yeah,
line that is pretty simple, but it says a lot in my opinion. And that's because in the end, remember, it's all for the love, not money. And that's how
right,
you basically end that line. And I find that really interesting to have as a discussion in the age of streaming, now in COVID too, where you can't tour or you weren't able to tour and make a living off of music in ways that you previously could. As an artist, I'd like to ask you, like, how do you manage these seemingly conflicting ideas of, you know, paying for your bills, making a living off of your art, versus doing it for the love of the art and not money, and selling your music at what you believe is the true value and distributing it in the way that you would like? How do you manage those two ideas of you got to eat, but also you want to respect your craft and do your art in the right way?
Man, I'm lucky, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting real good to just do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? If I want to just go live anywhere and do whatever, I got, the backing to do it. I got the backing to go, anywhere at any given moment of the world and live comfortable, you know what I'm saying, without having to do anything. So as far as the art just gonna be what it is, like I'm never gonna try to sell my art to lower the standard of what I'm trying to do. Never gonna, because for the fact I came up with this art is real, money is fake. So I'm gonna show you how fake your money is, because your money is gonna circulate and do nothing for you. But this art, that's, you may be able to pivot and, take this and do something with it in a different region, a different, space or whatever. You feel me? That currency, you may only be able to circulate it where you at. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like with that, I'm never, lower the standards of the art for, to be fed.
Yeah, and it's even, I think it's even more to what you said there, that like even if it's truly buying a typical digital album version of a project, like you can't quantify the value of what you just bought, because it could inspire you to, make another business that obviously mints you a bunch of cash later on, or just
Right.
inspires you to like just feel better. Like that's why, yeah,
Right.
I totally am on board with how you say that. It's,
You know what I'm
it's
saying? Because it's
invaluable.
certain things that I take on like that. You know what I'm saying? Not really knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that we gravitate towards that inspires us or makes us move in a different space.
They couldn't tell you what was really like. Press the wage, got me sunken in a new place. A new day, a new time, escape from out the nucleus. The lost season was expected, nevertheless, a far catch like Drexler. If I wanna put my shit to the test and stretch on you.
So now I want to move to some of these, some projects in particular that I wanted to get into a bit. If I start with my current favorite record of yours that I've at least heard in full, the N Platonic record. This album is really like none other. Sometimes you're rapping over some like creepy acid jazz beat, space age sci-fi stuff, and other times it's more like dusty boom bap, all produced by August Fanon again, where it sounds like you're rapping from Mars. Like, what makes your work with Fanon so special, and what is it about the connection between his beats and your type of lyricism that just yields such great results?
I think it's more so that he's a worker. You know what I'm saying? He really is focused on what he's doing. He's in love with what he's doing. It's more so him, you know what I'm saying, providing the soundscape to allow me to even, make adjustments, to, even take approaches and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's him making a catalog available, a slew of, instrumentation, allowing me to do this. I send it to him. We motivate each other. Like, yeah, man, we might have a phone call, a text, or, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that, just the whole vibe is just like, man, we love music the same way and we respect it the same way. He taught me a lot as far as through conversations and shit, as far as like just conversations, certain things he would say. It would just kind of dawn on me at a later time. You feel what I'm saying? It kind of was in sync during a lot of times of me recording.
And did you guys record like when you were working on these like various projects you've worked with him, were you guys recording a specific album at a time, or was it like a bunch of sessions that just turned out you kind of like pieced the albums together after that, or were you guys creating the N Platonic record specifically and then moved to the next?
a lot of times he don't even know what I'm doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't know what I'm doing. Like he don't know what I'm doing now. You feel what I'm saying? But it's always he know it's for the better good. It's always that. You know what I'm saying? It's for the, it's to push our brand forward. You know what I'm saying? Our culture forward. So it's always like, whatever. He got, he send me emails constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like I got verses that's just sitting that I can just like, okay, I'm gonna go drop a verse. Oh, let me mix it. You feel me? Oh, that sound dope. Oh, let me drop a single. Nah, I'm gonna hold that shit. See if I can carve it out to be an album. Yeah, fuck it. Then I might not record music for 2-3 months. But then I got all this shit that's written. Now, my peoples will get on me. People will be, so I'm like, okay, it's time to get in album mode. Let's see what I got. Let's see what the fuck I can hit them with. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, and that's the rap person in me. You know what I'm saying? There's different times I'm in different hats. So, I can do it all at any given moment if I have to. You feel what I'm saying? But I like to be real natural, so I don't force nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just live day by day doing what I want to do.
As we're on the topic of some of these projects with Fanon, there are two projects in particular that you've priced at the highest, and they seem to be the most rare collectibles in your catalog, and that's BoKoR and BGOD. I've heard a couple tracks that you've let as Lucy's off of it, and I'm not joking to anybody who hasn't listened to it. These are like some next level, even for all the amazing music I've heard so far from Kincee to date. These are some next level production and then just out of this world lyricism. And I wanted to get your thoughts on what makes these albums in particular so special. And they almost seem to, if you can comment as well, because I know you're selling the BGOD and BoKoR vinyls as like a package. Are they kind of related or connected in some way?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's like, I kind of like was just like from the beginning, it was like 8602. Can't remember right offhand how I got it. It's written down on paper, but basically BGOD and BoKoR would be like an A-side album and a B-side album. That's kind of like what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, if I was to make an A-side, that's what it is. A-side album, B-side album. That's why it's packaged like that. You know what I mean? Together.
And were you in kind of like a different, was there a particular theme that you were going for with these projects? Because I find the sound is
the same. Yeah, the thing was, it was August had made a BabyFace Pearlis beat tape playlist that he sent me. And it was kind of like all these crazy sounds. So the verses, I was like, damn, I'm gonna just record. You know what I'm saying? It was weird how I was snatching the beats because I was damn near kind of like looping some of them, some pieces or something, and I reach back to him and he'll actually make the beat out of the loop that I recorded and that I just looped and shit. So he'll send me back the beat. I'll lace the lyrics on the shit, kind of like. And so when I started doing that, I kind of like did a tape that was all of that, all running together, like on one long track. It was just like from beginning to end, those two albums together. And so I was like, damn, I'm gonna just kind of like cut each track and see how they all can tell some type of story. And then, boom, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like, I'll do the album cover first. And then I'll kind of like grow into that cover and make the music.
Wow. That's also something that's very, very different compared to other artists. I find the album art is like an afterthought, so devalued even on that topic before in today's day and age, which I do want to get to in 1 second. Just want to say again, I'll link in the episode notes your Bandcamp, and for anybody listening, these two projects in particular, like I'm currently trying to save up for at least one of them because fuck, they're incredible. I wanted to talk quickly about how your style or approach to music has evolved over the years. So, in listening to a project like Dia So Pure from 2016, it was released. I think it's a dope project for sure. It has that jade-faced record we talked about earlier, but it does present a slightly different style. You're not rapping completely differently, but I do feel, particularly in the production and the song structures, it's a slightly less left field, sorry, kind of album. So did you over time get more avant-garde or abstract as the years have progressed?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like you know, like a lot of those, I was going through so much during a lot of the years that, just like just buried inside of me, you know what I'm saying? As far as like just, growing as an adult, dealing with kids, you know what I'm saying? Battling, between school, the military, and just, what I'm saying, a lot of different stuff. So it was like a lot of that just made me, take different approaches on, where I want to be, you know what I'm saying? And so start trying to kind of like structure and make sense of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it sounds from what you're saying that you're in more of a comfortable, hopefully more peaceful kind of mind state right now. So hopefully that leads you to be more free to go even more out there in your music. So that's really nice to hear.
I think it was like I was chasing something to where like I had to, just settle and kind of like just, stop chasing stuff and just start making stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So now I want to transition to the other component we've touched on here and there, part of your artistry, and that's the visuals. So one of the clear traits of your music is always these incredibly interesting and artistic album artworks that accompany all of your releases, even EPs and singles. And actually, as I'm speaking to you now, your Zoom icon is fucking marvelous too. You have a nice one here too that I'm looking at. So um
Damn.
I want to understand, like, you're responsible for all of these visuals from my understanding. So do you see the artwork as being equally as important as the songs themselves? Like, do you feel like it's all part of one full kind of package?
Nah, I think it's more so like, because I can just, I'm not really like, you know, into like you can use any cover that's for a song or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a piece of the creature. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just something I chose at the time, to like, oh, okay, it's all opinionated at the end of the day, even with collaborating with other artists, you know what I'm saying? It's all opinionated off of how they view it. I may send over a cover to you. You're gonna choose like probably the third one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Very
really
subjective.
yeah, it's very subjective. You know what I'm saying? Like even with using certain symbols and you know what I mean? Like I won't copy nobody's stuff. That's what I won't do. So that's why I really start really kind of being hands-on, not trying to, have nobody else do it for me. So I don't know what came from. I'm not searching on the internet knowing who other covers like this or that or what they use. So that to remove all of that, I'd rather just show you something real graphic. You know what I'm saying? That I
Mm-hmm.
scribble. You know what I'm saying? And here, there you go.
Slurred speech and swallowed tongues, dribbled lung, little square thumbs, barely drifting yesterday's sticky gum. Numb from all the silly stunts, bringing thoughts a million shades of none. Calculate mistakes, caught 3 bubble drops from tomorrow's broken promise. Mama's favorite honest.
And another pretty unique approach that you have to your music is sometimes in your actions, but also just in the ideas that I was talking about earlier. I get a lot of elements of like futurism. So like elements about things on the future, use like astral travel, voodoo, like all these kind of spiritual or pseudo spiritual things that I find is always kind of laced, even in the most potentially surface level simple music that you could make. I find it's really interesting. And one thing that you do in some of your actions is you sell your art as NFTs. So what's the reasoning behind this decision? And do you feel like, what do you feel the future of art distribution and consumption will look like?
Depending on the scale of where you're at as an artist, you know what I'm saying? I would say, you would have to find your own niche of your own platform of whatever it be, Bandcamp or it be your own website, wherever your base is. It don't really have to be, NFTs. I think the NFT approach is good because there's so many like JPEGs online, so many art, so much stuff just on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think by doing this, I'm not afraid to put my artwork out. I got it on the blockchain. I got, what I'm saying, the token ID and everything like that. So I'm not afraid to just show you something. If you steal it, cool. You're really kind of promoting my business because you can't recreate what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's cool that way and protecting it. And also, like I said, opening the door for investors to say, hey, I want this, I want to license this to do whatever. The door is open without any middleman. You can work directly with the artist. You know what I'm saying? I think it be more of that because there's a lot of artists that can simply get paid for what they do. They just don't know the business of it. And the business don't have to be as complicated as they make it. It can be a simple deal written on a napkin. You know what I'm saying? So it's something between me and you. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people is not educated on the fact and afraid to debate, and they just not that type of, they just don't have that trait. So they miss the fact that they could be successful in distributing their art or, their talent, whatever it be. It's just all based off of the platform and how you, adjust to the times and shit, and just be inventive, be able to market. And, what I'm saying, you have to be learning the shit as you go. You can't really kind of be 1 foot in just one thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think even outside of like the crypto world, just the direct artist to consumer thing is, I
Yeah.
think, 100% going to be part. Like, people are realizing and waking up that obviously the label system is outdated, but
Oh yeah, man.
the streaming, you're not making any money. Just you're
Man,
not.
it's crazy. All that CD baby, all of them, they rob you. You know what I'm saying? It's like taking percentages and stuff like that. The ones that own the company is the ones that's really living good. You feel what I'm saying? It's all across the board. You feel me? Not saying that, okay, these artists aren't getting their streams, but it's hyped up. You feel what I'm saying? These new platforms and ways of artists being able to distribute removes all that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's, it all depends. Like you said, you made a good point. It's all about what kind of artist and where you want to be. Because I do
Yeah,
think, like, I do see for like some of the more mainstream acts and even just some of the really popular ones, streaming makes sense, but it can't be your only platform. It can't be all what you rely, because you're gonna get robbed. Like, you could make so much more money doing so many different things that have nothing to
right.
do with streaming.
The key to it is you have to educate yourself on what it is you're trying to do, period.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you won't get nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, you know,
And understand your niche and your target audience, like you put. That's really brilliant.
gotta
Okay,
use your
so
network.
yeah, that's a good point too. I wanted to move now to like in the future, like what do you have coming? So you've released a really dope EP, that Star Moon, One Sun. Really like that one, and a couple mixes, along with a big time project with August Fanon that you released earlier in 2020. The World is Upside Down. So what do you have coming for the rest of this year in 2021?
I got a lot of stuff recorded. My mind is kind of like in a couple different places, due to COVID, it kind of slowed me down as far as travel and stuff like that. Plans that I did have to do during this time. So I had to readjust and, switch up the hustle a little bit. And I'm kind of carving out a few ideas, you know what I'm saying? And waiting on a lot of things to fall through. And as far as like, animation and stuff like that, I'm trying to move into that space of kind of like giving visual aspects of songs on the animated level, the character design level I'm at now, like kind of, I've been writing a comic. I'm the
That's dope.
producer of the Hip Hop Marvels comic. Not comic, Hip Hop Marvels podcast out in Durham, North Carolina. was producing that. And so it drove me to, I went to Comic-Con, and it drove me to go into a space of writing a comic. And so I'm in the character design for that, to hopefully have some background music, maybe an EP to go along with that. I'm working on a couple of different things. I got a cannabis company, Age of the Stoner, and
Nice.
I'm out here. Yeah, I'm out here in Jennings right now. I'm actually in tune with the city where I grew up at, a couple of different places, working with artists from New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and kind of trying to develop some artists out here. I have a label, you know what I'm saying? So my peoples want me to start putting some groundwork into that, developing artists. So I'm, in days in, day out, recording sessions, from, producing them, from picking beats to, showing them how to structure songs and, engineering it and teaching them, pretty much parts of the game that they need to know, getting a mind in the business sense.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
It's really cool. I know, I think I was on Twitter recently and I tweeted something about you, and I think an artist that is featured on that record from 2020 with August, Iceberg Theory. He mentioned
Oh,
that
yeah.
he didn't give me any details. He just said, "Yeah, we got something. I got some work with him coming soon." So can you speak on that, or is that secret right now?
Oh, they may have something, I send records to August. I got a few that I recorded that I'm actually supposed to send back to him. And then, he probably have something going on. So, we got that relationship to where it's like, if he asks me for anything, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in the middle of, I travel everywhere with a mobile studio, my own shit, because at any given moment, I gotta, put in work. So it'll be times I'm driving from wherever to wherever, and he like, yo, I need this. So I'll stop and actually, listen to the production, like, okay. And I'll take not just really anything that I got written. I really start trying to, put something together for it.
That's really great that you have that relationship.
And send it back to them. Yeah. So they may have something. I got a lot of stuff that I want to send to Iceberg. I just haven't had the time to even, do it, being that I'm, filling all these hats. But once it's time to, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really in rapper mode right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in development mode of my artists and trying to really kind of feel a foundation of, of them helping people. You know what I'm saying? Mostly like, I can make myself money. I'm trying to show other people they can make money too. You know what I'm saying? Without robbing them and all that crazy shit and all that. I mean, just like, I have, when I'm working with somebody, it's kind of that bind. You feel what I'm saying? It's nothing. You got to understand it. You know what I'm saying? A certain vibe and shit,
Word, that's really beautiful. And yeah, I just want to say to anybody listening, you have to hit the link that will be in the episode description. Kincee's music is simply phenomenal, and then you'll notice all the other stuff we were talking about of the visuals. It's a real, true artist in a real, true art experience that you'll be getting. So definitely support real art. And Kincee, thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation.
No doubt, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Man, yeah, respect and peace and love to everybody. Hope you're safe and hope you continue to thrive and continue building in 2021. All right, man. Peace.
All right, man. Thanks, bro. All right. Peace.
Peace.
And it gets worse, judging by the activity on the intergalactic social space networks. I take control, saving the day. Remember me once I'm gone. Earth is not my home. That's why they captured me and cloned me. I got the galaxy buzzing to the most amazing treasure of all time.
So this concludes today's episode of the Rap Music Plug podcast presented by QLC TV. I hope this episode gave you some fresh new perspectives on the latest rap releases, as well as a recommendation for the next great rap record to add to your collection. If you're an artist looking to level up your career, getting more gigs, album sales, merch sales, whatever it may be, I would love to help you with that by providing you artist development and writing services. So if you're interested, contact me via email at qlctv.podcast@gmail.com or hit me up via Twitter or Instagram at Rohview, ROHVIEW. I would be honored to lend my expertise and help you grow your career as an artist. And also for regular rap fans that just want to hear more quality commentary on the genre, follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. For exclusive content and updates related to the show, follow the Rap Music Plug podcast on Facebook to help the show grow and ensure that everyone's listening to the best rap music at all times. Follow the show on the podcast platform of your choice. Make sure you leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts so that the show can be spotlighted by that wonderful algorithm and be exposed to more people. You can find all of this information along with exclusive playlists created by myself by clicking the link that's in the episode's notes. So that's all for today. Talk to you soon. Peace.